A win for the president and a loss for immigrants at the Supreme Court today. The justices ruled 7-2 in favor of allowing the administration to quickly deport some asylum seekers instead of letting them make their case to a federal judge. The decision will apply to those picked up near the border who fail an initial asylum screening. Justice Samuel Alito wrote the ruling, noting that in the last 5 years, 3/4 of those seeking to claim asylum have passed their initial screening and qualified for a full review. The ACLU protested the decision, saying it will make it more difficult to question the actions of immigration officials at the border. And the decision comes as the Trump administration works to reform the asylum system, saying it's full of abuse and meritless claims. On Monday, the administration published new procedural rules that will also limit asylum seekers. Ali Noorani is the executive director of the National Immigration Forum, and he joins us now with more on this decision. Ali, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Practically speaking, what kind of a difference is this ruling going to make?
Well, practically speaking, the Trump administration has really closed off our nation's asylum system. And this is a tragedy for those who, for example, are fleeing religious persecution around the world. For the Supreme Court to, in essence, remove any ability for someone to appeal their credible fear interview, I think is just really undermines our nation's values. And again, if there's anything that we stand for as a nation, it should be that we seek to protect those who are persecuted for their faith, their nationality, their political affiliation.
The Trump administration says the U.S. asylum system is full of abuse and meritless claims. Do you think immigrants are abusing it?
I think that the asylum system, up till this point, up till I'd say the last 2 or 3 years, has had several checks and balances in place so that asylum seekers could go through a process that they would have to meet certain very clear criteria in terms of their fear of persecution in their home country. But the administration has been led to believe that there is apparent fraud, but this fraud just does not exist when you actually look at the data. So as a result of the ruling and the policy changes that the administration has moved forward with, the asylum system is really grinding to a halt, and those who are within the country and seeking asylum, it is frankly much harder for them to thrive, much less make sure their families can survive.
During the pandemic, the administration announced a number of new policies that restrict immigration. Do you think we're going to see a significant drop in immigration this year?
Since COVID-19 set its teeth on the U.S., the administration has moved forward with 48 policy changes to the immigration system in one way or another. Now, let me be clear. Some of those changes have been the right moves for public health reasons. But, well over half of them have no definitive end date. And what I think we're going to see moving forward is our nation's values undermined, those who are seeking protection within the United States unable to receive that protection, and then ultimately our economy and our ability to recover from COVID-19 is going to be constrained by the quite drastic cuts to legal immigration.
What are you hearing from immigrants, especially with the pandemic? Do they still want to come to the U.S.?
People often ask me, which nation in the world has the best immigration system? Well, I still think, and I believe this very strongly, that the United States has the world's best immigration system because of who we are as a nation. We believe in freedom. We believe in liberty. We believe in the ability of someone to reach their fullest potential. The problem is that the changes that the administration is making, they're undermining all of these values. But the immigrant communities that we talk to, whether here in the U.S. or elsewhere, they still see the United States as a beacon of hope, of liberty, and of freedom.
All right, Ali Noorani with the National Immigration Forum. Thank you for your time today, sir.
Thank you.